And we are live. Hello, this is Mike Bustamante with Keller Williams Realty, and this here is Sue Mettee with Fairway Mortgage. And today we're going to be talking about first-time homebuyer programs and some things you need to know, and hopefully some happy stuff for you guys out there. If you have any questions, chime in there. We'll get them answered. If not, we'll give you a phone number at the end that you can call Sue and talk to her directly. So Sue, tell me what's going on with first-time home buyers. What do they need to be bringing in? Because I've talked to so many people that just don't understand what it is they need to do to get qualified, and they're always scared and worried. And
yeah, I always tell them, come on in. It's nothing we do when we first meet is etched in stone. We're just talking, getting to know each other. And the things that we like to see when we first meet with them, we want to see what their income's like. Has it been consistent? What their credit's like? Do we need to work on that? And to look at the credit score, the income, we're looking at W-2s and tax returns for the last 2 years. We can see, if your income is going up or down. We also want to see a pay stub that reflects at least 30 days of income. Again, we can see, do you have a lot of overtime or, that kind of stuff. And then if we need bank statements. How are you at saving your money, or are you saving any? And that's okay. I can put them into some of the down payment assistance programs to where they get everything back. We can only give back to them what they put into the transaction. So if they put $1,000 in for their earnest money, that we can give that back to them. Mm-hmm. So that's So I tell them, don't be worried about the money. We'll work on that. We'll get it for you. And then we're going to look at their credit. And the credit, people look at their Karma credit or their credit score that they get on their credit card bills. Those are credit scores. Those aren't FICO scores. And there's a big difference. I've had clients who come in and say, hey, I've got a 700 credit score with Credit Karma. And then I pull it, and it's down in the 600s, mid-6s. And they're so disappointed. So there's a difference. So it's nice to have the higher score with the Credit Karma and those, but just keep in mind that they are going to be lower when they come in to see us.
Okay. All right.
Because they look at different things for a mortgage loan opposed to just a credit score.
Right. And, I've had some people come in, too, that say, they were looking to get a car, and their car credit, when they talk to a bank or something, the score seemed to be a lot higher. But they're different when you're getting a car loan to a home loan.
Right. And when you go out to the car lots, they're trying to get you approved, so they could pull your credit 4 or 5 times, depending on who they can get to finance the car. I had one guy who dropped his score 50 points just by going out and looking for a car one weekend. So, if they pull one, hold on to it. Don't go to the next car lot and let them do it again.
So yeah, that'd be something for you guys to think about, too. If you're really serious about buying a house, look at buying the house first, talking to a lender before you go out to buy any cars or hit any car lots. Talk to a lender first, because buying a home is something that's great for your future. You get to some tax credits there, and your rent never goes up, so there's some great ideas for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a couple of things I wanted to mention on the do's and don'ts. Once you get pre-approved, leave everything alone. I've had clients who come in, they start moving their money from here to here. No, put it in one place and leave it alone. We also tell them, do not go out and buy any appliances, especially once we get into contract. Mm-hmm. Don't go out and start, now I got the house, now I need a washer and dryer, now I need this, and, don't do that. And my favorite story is I was covering for a loan officer while she was on vacation for a couple of weeks, and she had told him, I know her very well, and she told him, do not buy any appliances, don't go buy a new car, and all of that. So we pull your credit one last time before we release the funds, and we pulled his, and his score had dropped. His debt to income had gone way high. And I said, what in the world did you do? Didn't Robin tell you not to do this? Not to? Yeah, she told me not to buy a car. She told me not to buy any appliances. I said, so what'd you do? I bought a diamond ring for my fiance. So now in my spiel, I always say, do not buy a car, do not buy and don't buy a diamond ring. So, you know, because it will, you know, we were lucky. We worked around real quick, got it done, and got his debt to income back in shape, got his FICO scores back in shape. It was, I could just see her coming back from her vacation saying, what'd you do? So, you know, and again, don't change jobs if you can't help it. We will again verify your income one last time before we fund the loan. And we did have one gentleman who, the day we were getting ready to fund his loan, called to verify his employment, and the his employer said, "Oh, by the way, don't tell him, but we're letting him go tonight." So we told him, oh, we weren't able to get it funded, and then he called us Monday morning and said, oh, by the way, I was let go. So not only did he lose his house, his job, he also lost his house. So you know, just try to keep everything as we get you pre-approved. Leave everything that way until you get your house, if you can. Okay. You know, I know sometimes it's hard.
Right. Now I do have first-time home buyers a lot of times think to come in to talk to you on their first time that there's a charge involved. Now I always tell them just come in, you just sit down, you ask them lots of questions, try to find out exactly what it is they're looking for,
what they're looking for, what they're wanting. You know, what are you wanting for your monthly payment? What would you feel comfortable with? I mean, because a lot of times I can get you pre-approved or something, but you're not comfortable with that monthly payment. Right. And why do you want to set them up to fail? Right. You know? Right. And while we're talking about that, first-time home buyers, the definition is someone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. Okay. So if you owned a home 4 or 5 years ago, sold it, and your name has not been on a deed in the last 3 years, then you're qualified for a first-time home buyer.
Nice. Well, that's good. So you can be first-time home buyer several times in your life.
You can, and then you can also qualify for a first-time home buyer program.
Okay, good. Now, once they sit down to meet with you for the first time and you've asked all your questions, you don't necessarily always run their credit, because if it just doesn't seem like it fits, you just tell them kind of what they need to do for the future to kind of build up for it. Yeah,
I ask them how their credit looks, and a lot of time they say, oh, it's terrible, and I said, well, you know, I'll pull it right then, because then it gives me an idea what we need to do. Do we need to work on it? You know, do we have scores down in the 500s? Well, then we have some work to do before we can get them, you know. And we have a program that we call it the What If. It's a credit analyzer, and it tells you if you do this, this, and this, it'll bring your credit score up to this. So I give that to my clients, and then I check back with them in 3 to 6 months. And did you do this? And if so, do you want to pull your credit? Are you ready? You know. So
good. Okay. That's fantastic. You hear that, guys? Come in and talk. It don't cost you nothing.
No. I like to talk to you guys. It gives me an idea what you're wanting, what you can qualify for. And a lot of people are so intimidated. They come in and say, well, that's not bad. That's not all. You know, they don't know what they need to do. Right. And so if they come in, I kind of give them a guideline. This is, you need to do this, and this, and then you'll be ready. Right. So they're overwhelmed with the process until they can sit down and talk to somebody.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet, which is always a good reason why to come in and talk and see what an actual lender can do for you, and which way they can actually point you. And because lending laws change from state to state, so you know, if you're reading something from the state of Alabama, they may not even be close to our qualifications out here in California.
No, they're different.
Okay. Right. What else we have here?
You want to talk about the first-time home buyer programs?
Yeah. Okay. First-time home buyers. What do we have?
Well, there's one with GSFA, and it's the Platinum program. And on that one, it's a gift. They will give you up to 5% for your down payment and closing costs. There are no after 3 years. the amount that you borrow, the gift, is forgiven. You don't have to pay it back.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really a good one. They just reduce their income limits, but they're still doable. And so it's a good program. We just took a class on it on Wednesday or Thursday. They have a new program coming up July 1st, and it's going to be geared towards the credit challenged. We will be able to do the loan with a credit score of 600, a mid credit score of 600. Most of our down payment assistance, or all of our down payment assistance, normally want 640s. So this is really a good, I have a lot of clients who are at 600, and we have to work 3 or 4 months to get them up to 640.
Right.
Well, now I'm going back and I'm touching base with all of those people.
Oh, great.
There are 3 loans involved in it. One is going to be your main loan. There's going to be a second loan, and it's going to, there are no payments on it for 30 years, but after you pay off your first, then they want you to pay off that one. But if you sell the house or refinance it in the 30-year time period, then that one has to be paid.
Okay.
The third loan is going to be treated like a gift, so it will not have to be paid back.
Oh, nice.
So, but I don't know how long. I would think you probably will have to wait the 3 years, but I don't know that. And again, it's available 1st of July, and we haven't got all of our guidelines on it yet. But I think it'll be a good program for people with the low credit scores.
Right. Good.
Then I have another one. It's called Platinum Select, and that's geared towards first responders, firemen, police, ambulance, EMTs, ERs, people in the ERs. And it's not necessarily for the guys out on the front line, because they're going to make too much money normally on it for the income.
All right.
But if you've got the girls in the office at the CHP office, or the dispatchers, or the janitor in the ER, those people are all going to qualify. And it is a gift. You don't have to pay it back. And the difference between it and the other GSFA is that the day after the loan is funded, you don't make any payments. It's forgiven from day one. So
nice.
It's a guaranteed gift.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good program. I've tried to use it, and I'm looking for some firemen or people in the offices of the police, law enforcement.
So this right here is the occupations?
Yeah, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, fire support staff, teachers, school admin, staff, and both on the school, it's both public and private.
Wow, that covers quite a few people.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. If you guys know anybody, spread the word. Let's see if we can help somebody out here. Okay.
And then we have the old standby, the Cal HFA.
Okay.
And they put together 3 loans on this. It's called the Cal Plus with ZIP. And you can do, on all of the down payment assistance, you can do either conventional or FHA, whichever works best for the client.
Okay.
On an FHA, the down is 3.5%, and on the conventional, it's 3%.
Okay.
So whichever works best for you guys.
All right.
Sometimes it's easier on an FHA, depending on the client.
Okay.
On the Cal HFA, it's both conventional and FHA. Again, you have 3 loans. All the 2 subordinate loans are deferred, so there's no payments on them for 30 years.
Oh, okay.
One of them has the ZIP. It stands for zero interest premium, so there's no interest on that. So for 30 years, you're not making any payments on it.
Wow. And
then the other one, it's called My Home, and that one, there is a small interest on it for the 30 years, but it's very minimal. But it does mount up over 30 years. Again, if you sell the house or refinance it in the first 30 years, then you have to pay back both of those.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no payment on them.
All right, good.
Okay.
All right, get them in homes and keep them there.
Right. And then also, going back to Platinum, if you are in the process of selling your house, you can go ahead and get qualified for this. you don't have to wait for 3 years. It's not necessarily a first-time home buyer program.
Okay.
So it just the other house needs to be sold and out of your name before we can do the
Okay.
GSFA.
Okay.
Okay, but on the CalHFA, you have to be a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
No house in your name for the last 3 years. And that,
Okay.
even though it's not your house, maybe you co-sign for someone, you got to get it out of your name so you can.
Yeah, I can't have your name
You
on
can't
any
have.
deed.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. So, is that the last one you have here?
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
Perfect. All right. Any last comments you would like to say to the general public out there?
Well, I just wanted to mention that Fairway is not a new company. It's new to Fresno. We've only been in Fresno about 2 years. It's been out in the back east and in Southern California since the 60s. And then we just got a notice that we were ranked number 4 out of the top 100 mortgage companies in America for 2018.
Nice.
So, we're trying to get our name out here in Fresno. My branch manager is Bob Voss. He had gone from Fresno for a while. He's back. So those of you who know him, give him a call. I mean, we're both... He trained me, so we both work exactly the same.
Okay, great. So, what's the best way for people to give you a call and get a hold of you and ask you some questions?
My cell number is 559-307-4503. I joke I'm like a teenager. That phone is right there. And
always answering.
It's always
All
answering.
right.
And I respond to texts, emails, the phone ringing. I'm always accessible.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for tuning in, family and friends, and everybody out there. Go ahead and move this along if you think somebody else could benefit from this, and give us a call. Again, my name is Mike Bustamante with Keller Williams. If you need to ring me up, it's 559-696-2573. You all have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.